Everyone says the same thing about Bitcoin. Buy it and hold it forever. And that works great until it crashes 70% and your money is pretty much gone. Now, the problem itself isn't so much about Bitcoin. The problem is sitting there and watching your account drop as you're waiting for prices to go up. If you have real money in the market, that's not investing, that's gambling. I don't hold and pray for Bitcoin to go up in value. I use a simple system that makes money regardless of the direction of the market. Here's why the mindset of hold forever is broken and what do I do instead. Especially if you're a busy professional business owner, you don't want to be sitting there holding forever because you actually want to make money from this, as everyone. So for a second, let's just talk about what used to work. A long time ago, buying Bitcoin and holding it actually made sense. When Bitcoin was around $100 to $1,000, most people only put in a little bit of money, and even if it went to zero, your risk versus reward was pretty decent. And if the price actually ended up going up, that was amazing. You made a 5, 10, 20x. But the reality is that you're not in that spot anymore. Bitcoin is sitting at 90,000 as I'm recording this video, but who knows, maybe the next day it will be back at 95,000 and the next day will be back down at 85,000 because volatility is freaking insane right now. Never mind. The point is that you have money to protect. You are here in this market because you want to make money and you want to make sure that that money comes in consistently. So when Bitcoin drops 70%, that's not just a number anymore. That is real money gone. The problem is that most people treat Bitcoin like buying Apple stock. They are totally different. The stock market moves about 13% per year and Bitcoin, well, it moves about 55%. That means that Bitcoin alone is way more volatile than the stock market. And that is just Bitcoin, because then we have Ethereum, XRP, Solana. Those coins are even way more volatile than Bitcoin. And if you're an investor or want to make money from crypto, then you need to figure out a way to capitalize from that volatility without relying on the buy and hold strategy, which was made for calm, stable stocks, not on something as crazy as Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. Here's what most people missed. Bitcoin has changed. In 2024 and 2025, banks and funds started buying Bitcoin through ETFs. Everyone was happy saying big money is here, finally, prices will for sure go up. But there is a problem. Bitcoin now is tied to traditional investments. It doesn't ignore what happens outside anymore. When the stock market crashes, then Bitcoin will also follow it. And here's the problem. It will crash twice as hard. When interest rates go up, Bitcoin drops. When the Fed makes a move, Bitcoin reacts. If you're holding, you will see your portfolio go up and down insane amounts. And fair enough, maybe if you hold enough, it will eventually go up. But most people don't want to just hold forever. Most people want to actually make money on a monthly basis or even on a daily basis with a system that pays them out while profiting from that volatility that it's going on. So let's put things in perspective so you can understand better how insane crypto is. Back in 2018, Bitcoin lost 70% of its value. In 2022, it lost 60%. If you invested at the worst time, you had to wait 4 years to break even. And fair enough, you can follow some rules about don't buy when everybody's talking about it, even your aunt, but still, a lot of people bought at the worst time. And you would have to spend 4 years waiting for prices to recover just to be at a break-even point. So now we know crypto is very volatile. Bitcoin being the cryptocurrency with the highest market cap is still pretty volatile. So what is the solution here? If we're not holding forever, we're definitely not doing day trading either, because who has time for that? So what do we do instead? The answer is use a system. This is how the smartest investors in the world do it, but regular people just ignore it. A system is a set of rules that buys and sells on autopilot. It trades without emotions and it completely removes all of the guessing game. Easiest way to think about systems is think about it as an ATM. When you go to the ATM and you withdraw cash, usually the ATM will take a small fee. When you deposit cash, it will also take a very small fee. Now, the ATM does this 24/7, 365. It doesn't care how many people withdraw their money nor how many people deposit money. All it does is that in every transaction, it takes a small fee, and that fee is the profit. So the systems that can profit from the volatility of the market work the same way. It doesn't matter if the price will go up or down in value. All it does is that it buys and sells on autopilot without you handling all of the guessing anymore or figuring out the best time to buy or sell, actually making you money on a daily basis instead of waiting for prices to go up. Okay. But anyways, guys, I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to zero, and I'm definitely not against people that are investing in cryptocurrencies and waiting for prices to go up. All I'm saying is that if you actually want to capitalize from the volatility of the market and you don't want to worry about prices going up, prices going down, you just want a system that makes money regardless of where the direction of the market goes, then it's a good thing to consider installing a systematic approach that capitalizes from that volatility, especially if you don't have the time to figure out when it's the best time to sell and when it's the best time to buy. If that is you and you want to see how I use a trading bot that profits from the volatility of the market, averaging 6% a month, then click the link in the description to check it out. If not, that's totally fine. At least you learned something valuable as well. That being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.